mynews.studio.
Imagine this. One drop of blood could reveal dementia years before you notice any symptoms. What would that mean for medicine?
So today's date is July 1st, 2025. Just a few years ago, diagnosing dementia early with a simple blood test would have sounded far-fetched. But last year, thousands actually took part in trials for these tests. How do they actually work?
It comes down to blood biomarkers. These are proteins or molecules in your blood that are linked to Alzheimer's or other dementias. Before this, doctors mostly had to use PET scans or spinal taps. Both are invasive, expensive, and not easy to access. Now, with just a blood draw, we can spot these markers years before symptoms start to show. That changes everything.
So if people can be diagnosed before they show any symptoms, what does that actually mean for them and their families? Does having that information early really change anything?
It really does. Early diagnosis means people have more time to make plans, get support, and even begin treatments while they're still most effective. Families can prepare, and patients can stay involved in decisions about their care. It's about reducing uncertainty too.
But there's another side to this, isn't there? If someone learns they're at high risk for dementia years before any symptoms, what are the ethical issues? Could that kind of knowledge cause anxiety or even impact their job or insurance?
Yes, and that's a real issue. Early diagnosis can bring anxiety, depression, or even fear of stigma. And if insurance companies start using these results, people could face higher premiums or lose coverage altogether. So, things like informed consent, privacy, and counseling become absolutely necessary as these tests become more common.
What about access? In wealthier countries, rolling out these blood tests is one thing, but in places where lab infrastructure just isn't there, how do you even begin?
It's tough. Blood tests are less invasive and could be easier to scale than scans or spinal taps. But you still need reliable supply chains, trained staff, and regulatory approval. In some regions, even getting the equipment is a challenge. So, urban hospitals might see these tests first, while rural areas could be left waiting.
And there's awareness. In some places, people may not recognize early dementia signs at all.
Exactly. Education and awareness are just as important. A blood test won't help if people don't know to ask for it, or can't get follow-up care. That's why international cooperation and investment in health systems are critical.
With over 55 million people living with dementia, the stakes are huge. Early detection could change how we respond, emotionally, financially. But do the benefits of early diagnosis really outweigh the risks?
That's the core challenge for policymakers and health providers. The technology's here and there's real hope, but it needs to be handled with care. Are we prepared for the ethical and practical issues that come with this much early information?
The potential is enormous, but so is the responsibility. So, to sum up, blood tests for dementia could transform millions of lives, but only if we address access, ethics, and education alongside the science.
That's it for today. We started with one drop of blood, and now we're looking at a future where dementia care could be different for everyone.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it for free.